Hello and welcome to the Heed Army podcast. As ever, fully interactive show. Please do like and subscribe. Send us messages. We've got lots coming in and we've got it all to talk about. Of course, Easter weekend was not exactly fantastic for Gateshead FC on the pitch. And off the pitch, we're still waiting for the takeover to happen. And I'll ask a question later on. Did the Roman Empire fall quicker than what this takeover happened? Because it's just absolutely, we were told it was imminently happen. It hasn't happened that way, and it's dragging on. And I appreciate there's lots of messages already coming in about that. We'll get to it, of course. But as I say, fully interactive. We've got it all to talk about. I'll bring the boys in now. How are you doing?
Morning.
Yeah.
God.
If you kind of tell by our faces, if you're watching on your telly in glorious HD, me and Mickey fell asleep, not together, but before the podcast, and both woke up just before and got it going just in time. But it's the Easter weekend wasn't the celebration we hoped it could have been. Of course, if we had have won, we could have been sitting in the playoffs, possibly results, but I don't think they would have went our way anyway. The other results, but here we are, 2 points embedded into the playoffs with 2 games left, and I must admit it's a bit of a worry. I don't know about you boys, but I'm not as confident as I was last week of reaching the playoffs.
Not at all. Yeah, we're flat, aren't we? We're flat and we're negative. There's a lot of negativity around at the moment. Naturally, after going through such a bad spell of form, what is it? Is it eight defeats in 10?
It's not great reading, is it? I mean, they kept mentioning that on the commentary on the Hartlepool game. That it was a stat that kept echoing out. They've lost 8 of the last 10. How they're still in the playoffs? That's a question we're asking at the moment. And obviously the performances were not overly bad. Mistakes have cost us again, which seems to be the story of our season, even though we're sitting in the playoffs. If we had stopped a lot of the 50% of these mistakes, I'd hazard a guess we might be in the top 3. That's been something that's been reoccurring a lot, and going into the playoffs, having mistakes happen as freely as they do is a worry. But as I say, we've got lots of people coming in. We've got evening all. We've got a few evenings. Darcy's sent evening as well. As ever, she's always very early on that. Ken Webster, sorry, but it's time for Mags to go. We talk about the form not being great. I can see why people have that, that opinion. I mean, obviously, one of the alarming things, I think, for myself after the Hartlepool game was that Mags come out in a post-match interview and said that Hartlepool wanted it more. Well, I'm at a bit of a flabbergasted, and this isn't a dig at Mags. But if our players can't get up for trying to get in the playoffs when they're already in there to stay there, then what they're playing for, really? What the hell he is doing? If you just can't get up to try and get, some of you haven't played in the Football League. Some of you have. Do you want to get back? What's that not get up for? It annoyed me that statement. That school wanted it more.
You wanted to be at the first half of the Hartlepool game. That was an absolute disgrace. The lot of them were a disgrace. That's from against the management all the way through to the. I watched that first half and thought, what the hell's going on here? I mean, we can all point fingers at one person, and that one person, Nazi, had a stinker. But at the end of the day, the whole team and the first half was absolute garbage, totally garbage. If you don't put tackles in, you'll win knee games.
Yeah.
Why did it have to go into the dressing room for the second half, where Mags has probably stripped the paint off the walls before they come out and start putting tackles in? And the defence put tackles in, 2 people in the midfield, and it wasn't until Frank Newbley come on that someone up front started putting tackles in,
No.
Yeah.
It was absolutely disgrace, man. If they didn't want to be here, piss off the lorries, because I'm sick of it. As regards to takeover, I'm bored shitless with that now. I want it to happen. It needs to happen.
Right.
Some lads, it's starting to get on me tits. The lot of them are.
I think your
You've got
frustration
2
showed
games
through
to
them.
polish. They've got 2 games where they have to win it, and if they don't win either these 2 games, it's all on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the position that we've been in. Yes, results have been very kind to us to leave us in there, but to be in the playoffs after losing 8 games in the last 10 is, frankly, amazing. It's relegation form. I think some of the teams in the relegation zone have got better form than us.
Yeah.
And they're fighting for their lives. We're fighting for progression. Where's the fight? Where's the heart? That's what I've got to ask. Where's the heart? Where's the fight?
It's not there.
It's not there. And I we've defended the players and management all the way through, but sometimes you've got to be held accountable. And yes, we're not out of the fight, as Steve Farmfield says. We're still there fighting. Yes, we are, but we're hurting. And I'm not being funny. The Gateshead team that we know the way these lads can play and the way they bloody should be playing is 100 times better than what we're seeing.
Yeah.
And these mistakes, and there's a full quarter of players there and fresh legs in there as well. Fingers have got to start to be pointed at each other and say, come on, because this could be a very, very embarrassing season, in truth. Yes, we've done really well to be in the playoffs all year with our budget. We know that's a completely different aspect. That's something that was said, but potentially that could be a different argument next year. But to potentially slip out of these playoffs from being 12 points embedded, 5 weeks ago, is disgusting. It's just a whimper. Not even a fight. It's a whimper.
Is it 21 points in this half of the year? From January to now, 21 points.
Is that what it is? 21 points.
I think so. I may be wrong. Someone out there will have a better idea than me, but I'm sure at Christmas time we had 45 points.
Wow. You think of some of the teams we've played that you'd think,
January
wins. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Against York, we showed flashes. The better team won on the day. They took their chances. I've got no arguments with losing a football match. We at least we were in that one. We had a dog in the fight.
Yeah.
We were fighting. Took us till 2-0 down to start the fight against Hartlepool, against a poor Hartlepool, a terrible Hartlepool side. They didn't even have a registered defender on the pitch in the second half, and we still couldn't break them down. It's embarrassing. Friggin' embarrassing.
You're honest, the way they went on at full time, you'd think they'd won the FA Cup.
Well,
about 7 years ago, if they'd only beat us 3-2, I told them they would have been kicking off big time.
Yeah.
And they were absolutely jumping through hoops, giving it work like it's to the fans because they beat Gateshead 3-2. Think little Gateshead.
Yeah, little Gateshead's been in the playoffs all year where they've wanted to be. Of course, they're going to be happy to beat with a depleted side. Things that we couldn't do when we had a depleted side, we couldn't turn over a side, and that's the difference. And why have they got the fight and we haven't?
Where do we go from here, lads?
Exactly. Where's it gone from here? Well, if they don't win at Boston, they don't win the game against Southend. To be honest, if we lose against Boston, we'll not beat Southend because I'm severely worrying whether we've got the minerals to stay there.
Well, for you two and for everybody else, do you think we'll actually make the playoffs?
If they beat Boston, it'll give them the impetus to go and beat Southend at home.
Yeah.
I'm not overly
confident. Boston's on a cracker. I think Boston's got more points than us this year.
I don't fancy that, Boston.
I want the lads to, turn around and smack us in the face. Win. I'm not trying to be proven right here. I want you to prove us wrong and go out there and bloody do it. I don't suspect they'll be watching this. Maybe their family and friends are. We've never been one for throwing you under the bus. But I tell you what, this last few weeks, we're having threw you under the bus when maybe we should have done, because them 8 games now are looking like an absolute just a peeing in the wind. It's been awful. We've tried to defend. We kept saying, yes, we had players out, but we've got players coming back. We've got injuries. We signed 5 players, man, and then brought in, then loads of injuries have come back, and we've got a strong side. They're all fully fit. You know, I know it takes time to bond and that, but there just seems to be, I don't know, there doesn't seem to be any unity out there.
Just disjointed, yeah. I don't like to say it, but as Mags lost the dressing room, I said it a few weeks ago, you start worrying about that, don't you, when you look at that performance at Hartlepool?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't know what it is. The performance fell right off a cliff.
But what is it?
Well, I think players coming back. I think the first couple of games, you know, when you come back from a long-term injury, the first 2 games, like sheer momentum gets you through them, adrenaline.
Yeah.
And then you have a drop-off. Maybe that. I'm not having a go because Kenton and Joe have been absolutely outstanding. They didn't, but as a collective on Saturday, it just wasn't good enough. No. I mean, the 3 substitutes that's come on made a difference. The last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's stupid mistakes again. People pulling out their tackles now. I've seen a lot of that on Saturday. And the players mightn't say, well, that's your opinion. But I've seen it from my own eyes.
I know. Well,
I mean, I'm not going to name names, but if they ask us to name names, I will tell them.
Well, look at the third goal, Mickey. I thought before the shot even got away, we could have put a couple of tackles in or been stronger against the player who was going through. He just ghosted through us, you know, and got the shot away.
BBC Radio Tees were the ones that were doing the commentary on
the TV.
On the TV as well, on DAZN. And obviously they kept saying how they were amazed we're still in the playoff spot, you know, with our current form. I don't know if this stat is 100% true, whatever it is. Andy Mason, we were 4 points off top when Mags got the job and went on to lose 17 games. Look, we do know there was circumstances, a lot of players losing.
A lot of circumstances. I mean, this is Mags' first job, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not laying in, but it's a case of, you know, let's show some fight. Because what's the point in going out for whimper? Because that's what it feels like we're doing. It feels like we need to kick up the arse before we go out and you know go out with the mentality that you're 1-0 down and go for it instead of letting the teams have a soft goal and then thinking, oh Christ, we better pull our socks up. You know, because that's the way it feels.
Teams are just waltzing through our midfield because the tackles are not coming in. And then it highlights the defense and it highlights the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I'm reluctant to have a go at Brooks, but he was at fault I think for 2 of the 3 goals, and the lad probably feels absolutely crap. Yeah. Anybody would,
of course. Just that's.
I mean, look, we know Tiernan Brooks is a magnificent goalkeeper. Ireland under 21 international. No doubt, before his injury, he was probably being scouted by a lot of football league clubs for a move. Okay, I think that's no secret. I think we all knew that his form. He's come back. He's had a couple of shaky games, but it isn't all down to him because the shots come through to him, right? Yes, there's a couple of balls you'd think maybe he should have fisted away or should have stuck to him like glue. That's neither here nor there. The best goalkeepers in the world make mistakes. We're not here to single anybody out, but as a collective, as a team, it's just not there.
Look, the basics of it there, Davey. They're not tackling from the front. There's no one tackling from midfield. They're running through. The only time it normally makes a tackle, it's someone from defence. Yeah. That's the weakness of the midfield. And we've got 3 absolute super players in there.
Yeah.
In Humbles and Akinola.
Yep.
Booty tackles, Akinola tackles.
Yep.
Make your mind up on the rest. Honest, if you don't tackle, I'm sick of seeing it. How many times have I said it? I've said it in the group chat. I've seen it at games. Anybody who sits next to me will tell you, where's the tackle? Where's the tackle?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you know, obviously it hurts because we know that this football club has been in such a fantastic position. The players, a vast majority of the players on the side have earned that respect to get us into that place. But now we just seem to be just falling away, and that's what hurts. And I'm sure it's hurting the players. I'm sure it's hurting. It's hurting the club. It's hurting the fans.
It just feels like we're just waiting for the end of the season to come.
Does
get your friggin' flip-flops off, lads, and get your football boots back on.
No, well,
I think what the frustrations are obviously here for everyone to hear, but I think that's the thing, isn't it? Is because we know we've got it in the squad. You know, those players are good enough, you know, to have us in the playoffs, and it's just disappointing to see where we are. Right, disappointing is quite a weak word.
well,
Steely, I'm at the point after on Monday. I mean, sorry, I'm ranting on and all that, lads, but I've got to get it off the chest.
No.
I come away from that ground the other day and I thought, did he actually give a shit?
Yeah,
I know they do, but it doesn't look like they're showing it.
No, they
People
don't.
are paying big money to travel all over the country
I know.
to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
I bet if they had to pay for the buses, what would have gone doing? They'd be sharp enough, quick enough to say, well, we're putting buses on for you. Why aren't you filling them?
Yeah.
We're paying the money. We're paying money to go and watch them.
Yep. Oh,
I mean,
tough
it's
times.
yeah. I mean, and I know I made a tongue-in-cheek joke about this, but you know, a couple of people have put things about it here. The board could do with holding a statement really bad to say nothing to the fans. I don't think there's anything that can be said. I think from what I know, it's just being held up by paperwork is what we're led to believe. It's just frustrating. You know, I don't think you can use this as an excuse for the players. I really don't, because players have come in under the understanding that there's a takeover happening. So, and the players that are already there should be playing to get a better contract if there's more money in the club.
You would think so.
You would think so. So that, you know, on that front, yeah, that would be the argument. That would be the. I just don't know. I'm actually at a loss, lads, at the minute, because
I'm worried. I'll be honest with you, because you know
I genuinely believe that they do care, and anyone goes on the football pitch to lose.
No,
I genuinely mean that.
Yeah.
But from watching it, you'd be hard pressed to think, well, shows it. I mean, York were more clinical. We were in the game all the way through until York got the third goal,
which was a bad goal to concede, by the way. That was a terrible goal.
Well, that's our defending been all season, even when the likes of Kenton and Joe and Brandon are not being fit.
But Mickey, we were in the fight. I know there was negativity after that York game, but I honestly thought I was actually quite pleased with the York game, because I thought we showed a bit more fight. We looked more like the Gates of old. You know, we give them a game. The best team. It was 1-1 at half time. I don't think it should never been a draw at half time. You know, we were the better team. York had one attacking. It was a bit fluky, the equaliser. You know, we were looking good. You know.
Yeah.
Well, where's it? The deflection that went to the wide where it's crossed in and it caused chaos. Then there's the mistake with the clearance and catching the ball, and then it was untidy on a massive scale, and it's just got worse.
Well, only two home games this year in 2025.
Because that's the other thing, by the way, is right. So we thought about whether we'll make the playoffs. So, you know, it was a big debate whether we'll make the playoffs. People are saying it'll go down to Southend decider. If it goes down to Southend decider, I think Southend will beat us. But that's just personal opinions. But also, if we get to the playoffs, do you want an away game? I mean, I've got to say, the pitch, the stadium pitch, wow, I was really shocked when I went to the York game. I was like, what is that in them? I don't want to criticize, you know, because there's a lot of hard work goes on behind the club, but that pitch is not in a good condition. And I think, God, we want to play. And of course, was that our home form? Only 2 home wins since in 2000. Well, you want to play away from home, and that's crazy, but
these players have enjoyed some good times over the last few years, but they need to show some bottle for a fight in the last 2 games. Magnier will get the stick, but he's been badly let down. Yeah.
I think it's a combination of all that, isn't it? It's players, management for all that. I think they can all hold their hands up. You know what I mean? I don't think you can blame one particular person. I think it's a combo.
Yeah.
Well, when your manager comes out and says the opposition had more fight.
Yeah, that's not good.
That does leave a big question mark, doesn't it? To why did the other team have more fight when we're pushing for the playoffs? That is the burning question. That's the one that when I seen that, I turned the interview off. I didn't want to listen to the rest of it. In truth, didn't want to listen to it.
If this had been Oldham, the ground would have been burned down by now.
Well, could you imagine roles reverse? Hartlepool in this position, sort of in 7th, so in the playoffs, be busting a gut to stay in this playoffs. Southend will be busting a gut. We just don't seem to be busting a gut. You know what I mean? Mistakes are costing us. We're 2-0 down. Then we started playing, and it was like, well, we're 2-0 down. And of course, then we brought back to 2-1, pushing on, and then he scored 3-1.
We had loads of possession in the game, lads. It just went sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards. I understand you're trying to make room to get the angles and stuff like that, but if you've got to get the chance, take a shot. It might deflect to someone else for us.
I would love to think that it can be tweaked, and we play 2 up top against Boston and Southend, and go for it. Go for it. Don't bring on 2 strikers or 3 strikers when we're chasing the game. Let's go for it. We've seen how good Jovan was with someone next to him earlier in the season when Sellers Fleming came. That looked absolutely fantastic. Then Sellers Fleming got an injury, and then that went back to the one up top.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. Let's balls to the wall. Let's just freaking go for it.
I'd put Frank Rubley and Jovan up there. Personally.
Big
and I'm sorry, but since he's come back from injury, Tyrell Newton's been absolute shite now. And I love Tyrell, but he's been absolute garbage.
Yeah, he hasn't shown much in his appearances, has he?
Not recently. He had that spell where he was absolutely brilliant. He was flying. He's not the only one, by the way. I'm not singling. I'm Tyrell Newton. I'm not singling Tyrell out because there's a few in there being absolute garbage, especially the last few weeks.
I like Mags a lot, actually, but he does bring on his own sort of criticism sometimes, often around substitute management. All managers sitting in the
on Monday were brilliant.
Yeah, well, that's it. But on against York, I thought it was a bit strange, some of his decisions.
Obviously, I know we'll sometimes get pelters for not, being the nice guys and stuff. But I'm going to put everyone's messages out tonight. Mags is a canny enough bloke by all accounts, decent coach. He's not a manager. This is Andy Mason. In a million years, and the fact that he's gone as long as he has speaks volumes about the boardroom. There's so many aspects to that you can break down, but I'm not going to do it here because it sounds like we're defending the board or defending anyone. We're not. We're just reading them out, letting everyone have the vent.
Well, I'll speak my piece about the board. The board's done as well as they can. They've done absolutely amazing. Whoever comes into this football club is going to have to build a structure behind the scenes of the club, because at times it's run tin pot. And that's me putting it on the line.
Yeah. I can't argue with that.
I can't argue because everyone in that boardroom have done their damnedest. There are gates of fans that work there. They're putting their hands in the pockets. So I wouldn't have a go at them.
Some of them are actually giving too much money. And I know that sounds an oxymoron to say, but I think there's people have had to put their hands in the pockets a lot deeper than what maybe they should have.
Think.
I think mistakes have been on all sides. Can't blame Mags. Players need to take responsibility for what's happening on the pitch. Of course. I
agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not being funny. It's not like Mags is sitting on the touchline not doing anything. He's up there. He's barking instructions. He's wanting the players to do certain things, and the defensive mistakes will absolutely, for him being a defender, when he was playing, there'll be things that absolutely mortify him. And I'm 100% positive of that fact. It's not even as if there's major match congestion like last season. Yeah, that's another thing. Look at this team last year. The lads were having to sleep on the floor and stuff, and a broken down bus going from Fylde down to, was it Solihull Moors back in the season?
Eastleigh.
Yeah. Eastleigh.
Didn't we play 4 games in 6 days or something? I was like, ridiculous. Remember that? So Vanessa, that's a good point, Vanessa. So we can't even blame that because it's been fairly nice, really. It's sort of we get weeks off and
stories. But I don't think one thing is to blame. The biggest must
be a multitude of things.
Look, we're hurting, all right, and I think we pride ourselves on the podcast that we don't go off the handle over the simplest little things. I think now I think everyone's got a warranted right to be a little bit worried after the position we were in and the form that we're in.
Yeah.
Patrick Stories, but I don't think one thing is to blame. The biggest must be the takeover chat. Easy to say, just ignore it and get on with the job at hand. But I've seen teams lose form like this. Yes. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know what the chit chat is. I'm not even going to pretend to. I don't know. I don't know what the players are hearing or not hearing. Led to believe that the players come in on the belief that there was a takeover coming in. From a good, like from Brandon Horton onwards. I think that was common knowledge, wasn't it? That they signed under the knowing that the club was, about to step things up. So yeah. I mean, in an ideal world, before the York game, that Thursday before Good Friday, that would have been a great time to announce a takeover. You've just won 2 games on the bounce. You go into Easter weekend knowing you just need 3 points to get you through over a difficult 2 games. Would get you in a good position, and we've dived in arse backwards onto a broken glass instead of marching in fully confident. We got 3 weeks ago. We all wanted Mags to go We win a couple, and it's all sweetness and light. Then we suffer a couple more defeats. It's doom and gloom again. We win against Southend. We're in the playoffs. Here we come. Yeah, I know that, and I
get that.
don't.
It's not that. Sorry, dear. Let me turn on.
Sorry, I just think it's the manner in where we're having to, especially against Hartlepool. That didn't have I think after was it in the halfway through the first half they lost a defender, or was it in the second half they didn't have a registered out and out central defender on the pitch, and we didn't make them work. Did we even have a shot on target by the 2 goals? Did we make that goalkeeper work? No.
I think we had 4 shots in total, but I think it was, to be honest, I don't think they tested Brooks very often.
Yeah, but
they scored 3 goals, but I think they've only had 5 shots. There wasn't only about 8 or 9 shots.
By the way, this is Hartlepool we're talking about, who are mid-table, nothing to play for. They're not pushing for the playoffs. They're not going to get relegated.
What does that tell you?
This season they've been wobblier than a plate of jelly on a trampoline, haven't they?
Mm-hmm. What does it tell you? What does it tell you? They've got more pride.
I know.
That's for sure. There's a bloke, I can't remember who ran down the pitch with the ball. I think it was Akinola. And there's a Hartlepool lad chased him for 70 yards and got the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
You cannot buy that. Yeah. You cannot buy that. You've got to have that in there. And there's not enough of all that have got it in there.
Yeah. Some players come on and look like they're busy, but busy doing nothing. Tackles need to be put in, but they're not. As it says, scared. They may get the kid dirty. Well, Akinola was the only midfielder who actually put in a performance. I think Regan Booty put in a decent performance as well on Saturday as well.
Boots and Akinola with only 2 tackling in one midfield.
Even if we beat Southend, it's still in our own hands. And given how we've done anything simple in a simple way, who's to say it won't be the case and go and win the playoffs on penalties? Look, I'd love nothing more, but we've got to look at the way we are at the moment. And if anyone is out there with the head in the clouds going, we're going to win all these games and get promoted, yes, I want nothing more in this world.
Can I have the same drugs, please?
But something has to drastically change for that to happen. And these players, whether it's the captain, whether it's Greg Ollie goes into the training ground with Regan Booty and Kent and a couple of other elder statesmen and lays down the law and says, look, we've got to fight for this.
But they've already done that, apparently. They've done that on the last bad run.
I know. The trouble is, for the playoffs, like we're talking about this the Southend game, but it's not really, is it? Because like the teams who do well in the playoffs and go up or get the final, or the teams with momentum. We haven't got momentum. We've got no momentum. We've just lost the bloody Hartlepool. And so look at last year. Sorry,
yeah,
go
this
on.
is something we've said. This is something we've said for a long time, and I think Akinola probably brings a little bit in, but he isn't that. He's a good ball player and wins tackles, but we're just not nasty enough. Says Mick Scully.
No,
If a
no.
player is
Yeah.
waltzing towards goal, we need to kick him up the height and take the yellow card to deal with it. Yeah, a lot of our yellow cards in recent weeks have been for dissent or tripping. We need to get in there and.
What's that
I'm not
phrase?
going
We've got a soft underbelly.
to say like Vinnie Jones in the 88 Cup final where he smashed a player within 30 seconds. Don't want that, but we want to say, look, you're not going to take the pay out with either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give a bit of muscle, give a bit of shoulder. The York game was prime case. Yes, there was a blatant pull on Luke Hannon where he ended up on the track. Remember that one in the first half?
Yeah.
He got yorked right over. That's the nastiest we haven't got. We haven't got someone to say, here, get away. And
we're not
nice guys.
like you say, we're not expecting people to go in and be absolute total maniacs and get sent off every week. But we're taking a nasty bastard in that midfield. We need a one big time.
Yeah.
We need some nasty bastards in the team. And
I don't know if it's breaking up for me or anyone else, but is it breaking up for you, lads? I'm getting terrible breakup there.
No.
Right, we've got Andy Mason. Oh God, this is going really. Yeah, I think it's my end.
Oh, Mickey, we've lost Davey. Are you all right, Mickey? I can hear you all right.
I think so. Aye. I'm trying to read what Andy Mason said. It's Andy Small on my screen. So what's Andy?
So Andy says Hartlepool was my first away game since Halifax 2022, and it was the worst. And it was worse than that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's back.
I'm back. It's my internet. But yeah, and we've got another message. We've got one from St. Geordie's shocking goalkeeping display and defense for the third goal. How many times can we say that this season? Players aren't playing for the manager. It's not rocket science, says Will Gregg. I don't know.
Do you think? I think some are and some aren't.
I think it's mixed. I think it's mixed. What a crap!
Steve Jenkins. If everyone had Hanno's commitment, we wouldn't be having this conversation. He's a feisty little so and so, but you can only do so much from right back position. You got despite the resultant performance, it was a pleasure.
It was a good game. To be honest, it was a really good blow. And the fans, the Heat fans were superb doing Hartlepool. Never stopped.
On the zone, that's all you could hear was the gated fans. It was great. Like Mag said,
I don't know how many went down, but it was a good number.
Yeah, 518, I believe, but Mickey thinks there was more there.
Okay.
Well, I think it was a little bit of creative accountancy. Let's put it that way, because there seemed a hell of a lot more than 518 there. But I'm not sure. The Hartlepool fan said on Twitter it did look about right, to be fair. So, don't know.
Yeah.
So, Sean Parry says, like Mag said, we lack the killer instinct. We do. We really do. Did anyone get any nice Easter eggs? Look at that nice change of pace, of course.
Hey, I got nice Smarties Easter egg.
I didn't get one.
Did you not?
Oh, me. Wow.
I had a couple. I got a nice mini egg one, little buttons one, and a cream egg one off the mother-in-law. So there we go.
Very nice.
Demolished them all within a day. I mean, I know, like, a bit of tongue in cheek and a little bit of humor in the description for this podcast on YouTube, and obviously heed our prayers. Thou shalt learn how to defend. I know it's a bit of a joke, but we are hurting a bit, and it's
not just the two results against York and Hartlepool.
No, it's not.
It's the other games previous to that as well. And the final Ebbsfleet and Braintree, they stung more than this game. Them two did.
Yeah, we've seen.
Files relegated and have done with double overs.
I can't remember which game it was this season. Home game. It might be in January when we got beat in one of them games, and it felt like a Unibond season. It was a very low crowd. There wasn't any fight in the team.
Was it Halifax?
We went out with a whimper. It was just
There was like
pathetic.
650 there, wasn't there?
It was just a pathetic performance.
Who was
And I
that
don't
again?
use that word lightly when I'm talking about Gateshead, because in these last 6 years they've been anything but pathetic. But there's been times this season when it has been. And yes, I'm not gonna go out there and purposely slate anyone. There is circumstances, we know that, but Christ, some games have been absolutely dire. This one's took a long time to come up. I thought this might have come up a little bit earlier. Did anyone see an Ichibi's post on Instagram on Friday commenting about the team and substitutes? That won't help the lads and look very unprofessional. I must admit, it's not a great look.
No.
Of course, somebody screenshotted it and put it up, and he had removed it. So maybe he
To be
thought
honest,
better
he's
of
only
it.
telling the bloody truth.
Yeah, well, that may well be, the overwhelming opinion of many, but the unprofessional thing it's not a good look for, and every person that supports Gateshead or is going to be financially involved is going to have their own opinions on what the team should be doing and shouldn't be doing. But I don't think it should come from the top publicly. So, are you still there, boys? Can you hear us?
Yeah,
as well. Dave, I'm just saying, was that the Tuesday night game at home to Braintree when we lost 3-1 in front of 650? And it was pretty poor. That or Maidenhead. We lost Maidenhead 2-0. That was another bad one.
Was it Maidenhead? We lost 3 in a row. Now we lost to Halifax, and that was poor. We absolutely dreadful that day.
Oh, yeah.
But to be fair, we only had 2 players who started the season in the team, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's when the injuries were the highest height.
I mean, we should all be happy and celebrating, should we? Like in the playoffs, and a couple of weeks away from the first playoff game.
We're fighting way above our weight, but to me, just throwing away a really good opportunity.
Yeah, it just feels flat.
Yeah. Mick Scuddy's put the board aren't going to sack Mags as long as this takeover hangs in the background, and I don't know if they could financially afford to do it anyway. If that was the case, not that I'm agreeing that one way or the other on that.
In my opinion, I wouldn't sack Mags.
I wouldn't sack him neither.
Not at all.
See it out now. See what happens.
Yeah. We've got bored now. I'm going to get myself chocolate out of the fridge and dream of a trip to Wembley on June 1st.
Oh, well, Stephen, have you had your medication? Oh, God. Dear me.
The thing is, Sandra's just bought Steve one of them Senecott Easter eggs. Regular.
St. George's expensive mistakes cost us all season. Has tell us something we don't know. Fridge, Stephen, in the cupboard. No, that's the long running. What do you call it? Of course, we've talked about it a couple of times so far. There's loads of messages I've got here to get through. We will get through them. Don't worry.
Just go through them.
I will do. But obviously, we're going down to Boston. It's a must win. We know that. Are you going down to Boston? Let us know. Also, get your predictions in for Boston as well. The prediction league is as this. As I say at the moment, St. Geordie's still top on 39 points. Craig in second on 37. In fact, I'll put this one up because I'll go to here and then I'll add this in. There we are. Got it on bigger screen. There was only one person got points properly this week, I think, and that was Alan Guess, was it? No, he didn't. Oh, he did. Yeah, so, I mean, that's a prediction league at the moment. Still very tight at the top. Anyone could win all the way down to me in 5th, and Christopher Story's knocking about there as well. I think he's still got a joke at the play. So get your predictions in for that. And a big thank you to Johnny Gray as well. Before we go any further forward, though, 1 second, we do have a message to put out for the foundation. The free breakfast club and activities is on tomorrow. No, it's on Thursday. Sorry. Friday even. Let's get it all out here. Friday,
Yeah.
Is
Friday
it tomorrow the next day or Friday, David?
it's tomorrow is the new Friday. On Friday the 25th of April, you don't need to register, just turn up. It's at the Teams Life Centre, and there's information on the Gateshead FC Foundation website. So get yourself down and hopefully have a good time. They're always well attended, and as we always say, the foundation do absolute wonders and continue to do so. We've got
Boston away, by the way, is all ticket. I know the Heat Army who travelling will know, but it's all ticket.
Yeah. We've got.
And by the way, Mickey's point about all tickets. By the way, that's that fee, Mickey, that you paid for. That's standard. Obviously,
for a ticket that doesn't get handled. It gets sent from one computer to one email address to another. What a load of shit! £1.50 for 2 tickets.
You have to do all the work. Mick Scully's put, if that's true about an ETB, it worries me greatly. As I'm far concerned, owners shouldn't be commenting about team matters. Yeah.
That's right.
We live in a social media age, whether rightly or wrongly, to me, it doesn't sit well with me. I think if a manager's under pressure or not, I don't think anyone should be, not that he owns the club, he can do what he wants at the moment, can't he? He's a fan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he's looking on from the outside, looking in, isn't he?
Yeah. But if that was to happen during, a tenure, you would be a little bit worried, and it makes you gain attention from all quarters for the wrong reasons, doesn't it? We've got makes you wonder what else is going on in the background. I don't know. We've got I have a Lindor Mint one Kit Kat chunky and cream eggs. I haven't eaten any yet. Vanessa, you have a fantastic willpower, because I would have snorted them up in a second. I wouldn't even have chewed.
I'll tell you what, Vanessa's gated, and she's a Wickham fan first and foremost, and she's a gated fan as well. She's had a really poor weekend.
Yeah. Got beat 4-0, didn't they, off Charlton?
Yeah.
Actually,
and by the way, Vanessa, we've got the 1993 FA Trophy semi-final program. There is now. Because I'll gladly take that off your hands.
Just while what about Wickham, just breaking up the just while Davey's reading the messages and going, I was the other day I was going through my boxes of stuff, just like sorting out and stuff. I found when I was a teenager going around to all the away games watching Gated, I used to get pennants, the triangle pennants. Yeah. I've got a massive box of them. I found them all. I was like, oh my god! But yeah, one of the ones I wanted to show, especially Vanessa, was the mighty Wickham Wanderers. Every trophy winners in 91. But yeah, that's an old one, I tell you. It's class. Yeah, anyway, so I'm digressing.
We've got the players didn't get their Easter eggs. It was for a win bonus. And Darcy, because Darcy's asked the question, Mickey, what kind of Easter egg would you have picked, Mickey, if you could have had one?
Oh, what's your favourite type? I'll tell you what I'm into at the minute. I've always liked Mars bars, as you can tell by this fine physique. It doesn't get like this just eating bananas. I like Mars bars, but I'm into them Reese's. I'm into Reese's stuff as well. I love peanut butter, and I love the Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh, sorry, we are digressing here before we get to the predictions. Have you had the Snickers creamy yet?
No. Am I missing out?
Oh, honest.
By the way,
if I had found the Snickers creamy before I found Wallace, I would have married that packet of Snickers creamy. I tell you, that's how nice they are. You can get them. You can get them at Tesco. It's just a pack of 4. Is it 4 or 8? Anyway, there's just 2 little bit. Oh, honest, it's like
By the way, this ridiculous concept of putting, chocolate's going to go in the fridge, right? No, it doesn't. It goes in the cupboards. But right. What about your Easter eggs? I don't see your Easter eggs in the fridge. So how does your rule go with this then?
Easter eggs are. Here it is. I put my Easter egg in the fridge.
No, you
to cool it down.
No.
In fact, hang on. I'm going to do some roving reporting here. I'm going to go with my phone to the fridge. 1 second.
I mean,
log in.
You get a few.
What are these? I want to know what these sticker creamies things are.
Oh, I didn't ask. I don't know. I know what he can do with them. Oh, look, he's away. Here we
No,
come. We're
he's
getting
away.
good. Oh, he's gone.
I'll take this off.
He's got to prove.
Don't get this on the Oldham podcast. One second.
Nah, because they want to talk with the burning issues in football.
Oh, here I am. I'll put myself full screen.
Here he comes.
Right, here we go. Right.
This
So
is not.
we're going through what we're doing. We're doing that. See, Easter egg in the fridge. See, there you go. That's how you do it, boys. Live on my phone, yeah. Roving reporter.
Just as well the missus wasn't naked on the table when he walked in, wasn't it?
I can't believe you put the. I cannot believe you put the Easter eggs in the fridge. Oh my God, I'm seeing it.
You want them cold? You want them cold? How we?
Oh,
God, look at that. Got back to our core values here, haven't we? From bitching and
we
moaning.
have. I can't believe it.
Right.
Believe it.
Right, let's have a little look down here. We've got lots of messages coming in.
Let's get the comments ready for the change.
Let's get the comments. Well, we've got,
because all the comments are so positive.
We've got, if there was 600, it can't have been Unibond. We were looking to get 600 any game back then. Yes, I know. But the atmosphere was flat and the football on display, should I say. Right, let's have a little look. We've got win the next two gives us some momentum going into the playoffs. Of course it does. Let's build up some. I think.
Yeah, let's build some positivity. Come on.
We've had our rants. And we are behind the team.
We need a win on Saturday.
I love the team, the bits. Just let's get stuck in and let's prove everyone wrong. Have the pride and desire, prove everyone wrong. I love them all the bits. I don't take any joy in slagging them off, but sometimes I think they need a good kick up the arse.
Yeah, you're right, Mickey. You're right.
Patrick Story has put the club should ask for an IOU for a playoff place for last season. Definitely, I agree with that. Steve Thornfield, here we go. We're starting with the predictions. He's going 4-1 and he's using his joker. So look at that.
Positivity. Steve hasn't had his medication, has he? Like Steve hasn't. But anyway, yeah, that's positive.
I think Sandra's murdered him.
Yeah, well, Ken Webster's saying if it stays like this, he's not renewing his season ticket. Oh, you've still got to support the lads. However, we're allowed to have a rant. Don't take it too far. Let's hope the lads have a good kick up the you-know-what and a 1-0 win on Saturday. This is Alan Guest. I'm going down to Boston with my mate. I know it's fancy dress, so I'm dressing up as Ali G. Oh, well, there we go. Right, we're going to go here. We're going to go for a 2. We will win 2-1, says Andy Mason. Look, see, everyone's turning the negativity round. I say that. Sam Pendleton's going 2-1 to Boston.
Don't ask my prediction, I'll tell you.
Yeah. We've got, thank you to the foundation for the football at Felham Park, one of the best ones. Yes, they had lots of football on over the Easter and doing great stuff. The foundation, we'll have to try and get someone on from the foundation, whether Steve or Joe, and we can really.
I'll definitely get Joe on. You'll definitely get Steve on.
We'll get Steve on. Boston away is fancy dress. St. Geordie is going 3-1 win. Keep the faith. And I'll play my last joker. Oh, he's good. He's gunning for it. He's gunning for it, St. Geordie to win the league.
I think I've got one joker left as well, you know.
Ken Webster's going 3-0 to Boston.
Hey, how are Ken?
Patrick Story's going 2-1 to Gateshead. We're going for a 1-1 draw, says Trina. Craig's up there as well, you know, and he's got a few jokers. He's going 2-1 win and the joker. And yes, it's been a shocker. And a
weekend.
She goes, wow, Fab Fine. I still have my 1993 trophy season T-shirt. Yeah, so there we go. That's
when it probably sits there now because he doesn't seem to have got any.
Yeah.
Exclusive grown to shit.
Exclusive fridge report. We've got Neil Robinson. My daughter won the Easter egg colouring competition at the local supermarket. Bit of good news there. That's good in. We're well done. Steve Farnfield, we already had that one about his joker. Easter eggs on chocolate. They're eggs. Tell that to the
Now, I don't know much about birds, but I'm pretty certain they're not eggs.
let's hope the team plays the next two well as Davey dies the podcast. No, we're not going to die the podcast. We've got a great, honest show as always. Disappointing. The York was the first I've been to in a while. Let's bounce back at Boston on Saturday. Yes, couldn't agree more. We've got 3-1 win to Gateshead, sorry, at Boston, says Christopher Story. Darcy, Mickey, I'm going to give you a Smarties egg at the Southend game. Look at that.
Oh.
Darcy, that's very nice of you, dear. But I prefer that you kept it to yourself. It's yours. I appreciate the gesture.
Yeah,
but I'd rather you had it, darling, really.
Rusty Squid is going 2-1 to Gateshead, but only just. Johnny Gray, the man who does our magnificent prediction league, is going 2-1 win. Darcy's going 3-1 win to Gateshead. We've got here. Mickey, you give an Easter egg to Widderton yet?
I'm hoping. I am really, really hoping Spenny will give him an Easter egg.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. That's right.
We've got a 3-2 win to Gateshead, and the Joker played from Sean Parry. And
have I got sorry, Johnny, if you're listening, well, you're listening. Have I got one Joker left? I'm not sure. Sorry, David.
If you go to the league table, It's on there. It'll stay on the right column.
Yeah, I'll bring it back on 1 second. I'll get the picture.
I can't see because I'm on my phone.
We'll tell you, Mickey. We'll have a look for you, mate.
Hang on. Come up, Mickey.
Where's Mickey Barris? It says no Jokers.
Oh, well.
You've used them all.
That's all right. I just wanted to know if I'd used them or not.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think of a word here because he's back. He's back in town.
Oh, he's back.
Spoken like a true man.
Mickey, you think of a word to describe John Ollie this week. He's going 2-1.
John Ollie, the gentleman.
The gentleman John Ollie is going for 2-1 and a Joker. We've got, in fact, we should give him one of these again.
Spoken like a true man.
Right, we've got like Wickham. We are never going to do this easily. Currently, Wickham are being ping between automatic promotion and the stress of the playoffs, or giving me double stress. We've got Johnny Gray as Emmy says 2-1 and playing a Joker as well. Everyone's chucking the Jokers in now. Steve Thornton 3-1. High in the Joker in. Mickey, we've got one here. Mickey, you used all your Jokers.
That's fair enough. I just wanted to know if I wasn't sure if I'd used them or not. I thought I might have had one, but
I don't predict any more. Gateshead Football Club is a very wild card every match. Games can go either way, no matter league position. So we know that's life as a Gateshead fan.
Oh God, it is.
Does not die. Read one with the typo. Sorry. It's been an episode, boys, hasn't it? We've had a rant, but if
quite
there is
nice any system, though, isn't it? It's quite nice
if there is anyone watching,
it was cathartic.
Yes, we're behind you.
Good word.
Well, he's great with his words. He's been reading the dictionary game.
No, it's called education. You want to try one day, lads?
Well,
I say that tongue in cheek. We've got the bloke here, one of the experts in the bloody seabird, and if not in the country, in the world.
That doesn't mean I'm educated, funny lad. But anyway, nice one, Mickey.
No, it's.
Hey, we're still laughing and smiling, aren't we? Look at us. We're still going on.
Okay, if a different smile, we'll get out here on a bloody rowing boat, for Christ's sake, like Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Davey, Mickey, you haven't said your predictions. What are you fancying?
Oh yeah, haven't done ours yet, have we?
Davey, what are you thinking, kid?
You know where it is.
I'm going negative, so leave me to last.
I think with all of the hoo-ha that we've had here, all right, and all of the
what's coming out of his mouth?
4-0 to Boston.
With all the reactions that we've had and the cleansing of the soul, Players are gonna feed off our positive vibes at the end of the podcast now, right? And they're gonna run out 6-1 winners. That's what I'm going for. 6-1.
Have you got your Anadin mixed up with I don't know what the hell? I don't know.
These I took them in the right order.
I wonder what odds you would get of a 6-1 win to get on Saturday. Or like what the odds would be. I bet it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, can I tell you this one?
Aye.
What was it? Me and Trina at Hebby's the other day. Into made lucky 15 bet Davy you now lucky 15.
Yeah, you were telling us
4
about it,
teams, and you predicted like Gates to win 4-0, Newcastle beat Aston Villa 3-1, and a couple of other teams. And for £7.50 should £227,000.
Wow. And how close did she get?
Patrick Story's going 3-1. He's saying for this, and you know where it is. I don't know if Liv sent me predictions for this one. I need to have a little look. I don't know if she has, because I know she's away at the moment. No, she hasn't. She hasn't sent them for this next one.
Well, she normally puts the same results in every week, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's only, I think it's only Darren and what's that other son called? I forgot his name now.
Aye.
It's only Darren and them that put the different ones in.
Yeah. Sorry for the late notice. I played my joker for Boston 2-1 the prediction league. I'm holding back for the playoffs. Ooh. Mickey, any news on the ladies?
They're playing. I'm sure it's Bishop Auckland. They're playing this weekend. It's a relegation 6-pointer. So.
Are we in the relegation zone, Mickey? Do you know? Have you seen the
they dropped into. They got beat. They got beaten, dropped back in. I think it was Hartlepool that got beat off.
Yeah.
So, Mickey, what you fancy for Boston? Sorry, I'm digressing. Sorry, man.
I don't know, because I've seen bits in the Hartlepool game that I really, really liked, and I've seen bits I really, really hated.
Yeah.
They had a lot of possession football. We didn't have as many shots. I'm gonna gun against what me head's. Well, I'm going with my heart, not my head, and I'm gonna gun 2-0 to Gateshead. But my head says 3-1 to them, but I'm gonna go 2-0 to us.
There we go. What was yours, Steely?
Yeah, I can't get positive about it just because Boston are fighting for their lives and have been on great form. And we're in terrible form, heads are down. And I think Boston will beat us 2-0, unfortunately. That's my head rule, and then me head over my heart a bit there. Like you,
well,
something like that, whatever it is.
On a very different note, if you live in the Aladdin Hollow Green area, do keep an eye out for the topless shoplifter that was on display yesterday in. It wasn't me. It was a lady, probably about our age, completely topless, just walked into Morrison's, grabbed a load of groceries and walked out.
And I know exactly who it is because my sister knows who it is.
Oh, well, there we go. So, but
there you go.
Magnificent entertainment.
I hope she's all right. It sounds like
I know it's horrendous, really. We've got Dr. David, Professor Steele, and Mickey Barris, Chancellor of Life University of Life. I tell you what, you didn't want me giving you a prostate. I'll tell you that. By
the way, I like the fact that you're a doctor, I'm a professor, and then it's just me.
Did you get a BSc in what you have to do or not?
Aye, so I've got a Bachelor of Science degree.
I thought you would have.
I'm sorry. I
didn't have all the carbon.
Yeah, I did all that crap. Yeah, of course you did, man.
Get the photos for next week's show. Photos. I want to see you in your robes.
I didn't have white hair back then.
And how long did it take altogether to get your BSc?
4 years. It was a long time.
4 years.
4 years.
Do you know, it took me about 2 minutes to get my BCG. But anyway.
He's never shut up for getting that 6 pricks, has he?
I've told you we're going to that weekend in Blackpool again. So good evening, everyone. Can you see Gated in the playoffs? at this moment in time, hopefully. And then
Who
what's your
knows?
thoughts on the refs' decisions? Yes, they've been awful lately. There's been some absolute stinkers. And
Hey, that
Oh,
York City
that
game,
one
by the way,
against
he was-
York.
he was
Wow.
garbage. By the way, but
Yeah.
he was garbage, and it wasn't just garbage for us. If you were neutral, he was garbage for York as well. He was just rubbish.
it was. But look at
Rubbish
that. Look,
football.
that shows you how far we've come, that we haven't had to go on about the referees till the dying.
The last minutes. Yeah.
Always, thank you very much. It's been
Oh, thanks, man, Jamie. Thanks, mate.
and thank you to Steve Farnfield. He's put good night, girls. And on that
It's
note,
Right, Stephen.
I'm
It
going
sounds
to
a
go
bit
and
bizarre, though. I've actually enjoyed it.
yeah. I mean, I hope that, if there's anyone from the club watching, they know we're not going in on them for any reason. We're all hurting, and I'm sure the players are, and I'm hoping we get an answer this weekend, a reaction, should I say, to it all. And this can just be
Totally agree with you.
a blip in the memory. But we've got good night from Mason, good night there, and there we go. Wonder what they pay the refs. Wonder what they pay the refs. There's a pack of Freddos. Well, Freddos are getting quite expensive these days. But on that note, everybody, bye.
See you later.
Oh.